everyone, so welcome to today's video. We're starting off with a full done face, but in a moment you'll see my face completely bare. We are doing a routine start to finish using some of my newer products. Some things I've only used once, maybe only swatched. Some things are new that I haven't even shared, haven't even used. And so we're kind of trying some of these out and working with some new products and sharing with you. Like the foundation is my combo that I've been doing for the last week and I love it. So I wanted to do it again and share that with you, but I'm using some new stuff around for the eyeshadows, a new lip combo, new lipstick. We're just kind of playing with makeup. So if you want to see how to do this routine and how I got to this finished look, then keep watching. I have been using the LORAC Pro Skin Glass Skin Primer again. I picked this up a while ago and I used it quite a bit, and it's been a little bit since I used it, but when I started using it again, I realized how good this makes my skin feel. It's like silk on the skin, and it actually makes the foundation kind of glide very smoothly, and it actually does make a huge difference. I honestly think that this has some like magical things going on as far as making the skin soft and just allowing the foundation to kind of glide over the skin without it clinging to dryness, because like I said, I do have some dryness, not flakes or anything at the moment. And I just use a dropper and I drop a little bit on my face and then I just massage this in. Some of my Say, this is the Glowy Super Gel and Star Glow. This is a small like travel size, and I just take about a pump of that. This also feels moisturizing, so it's again creating layers of moisture to really help my foundation look its best. So foundation, I have been really loving the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is absolutely beautiful. I love the way it looks, the way it goes on. So I have been mixing this with other things. I've used it on its own and I absolutely love it. I feel like I try to mix foundations in my collection to get the best and most use out of what I've got. I've got really good ones, and I find myself reaching for this just to add just a little pinch to whatever concoction I'm mixing for the day, because I just love it. It goes on so smoothly and so beautifully. So the combination that I've been wearing for the last week is this beautiful skin foundation mixed with the Kosas Revealer. I think both of them together are really great. I wear the shade 110 Light Neutral, and then I have 2 Neutral in the Charlotte. So I just mix them on the back of my hand. Yesterday I did half a pump of each. Today I'm going to do the full pump. Then I'm going to do concealer. I'm going to start with the Maybelline Eraser. This is the Brightener, which is the pink shade number 160. They used to write the names of the colors on here, but they stopped doing that. I don't know why. But it's the pink one. It's the lightest shade. And I do enjoy that. I used to use that same line, but in the concealer color. I think it was Fair. I don't remember what the number was, but it was so good. And this one is nice and brightening, and it's just such a nice finish on the skin. I've used this on its own, but I also mix it. And I do have like the Kosas Revealer concealer that goes with the foundation, but I think I'm going to use my Armani Luminous Silk. I did pick up the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer, but I have the shade Light, which is the lightest that I found at Target. And it looks a little dark, so I'm not going to use that today because I'm a little concerned about the shade. So I'm going to just use my Luminous Silk from Armani, and I have that in the shade number 3, and it looks like that. It's a really good concealer. And blend that in with the same beauty sponge. So I have been using the Dermablend setting powder. This is the Illuminating Banana Powder. This is really good. So I'm going to use this under my eyes. This is what I used yesterday, and just kind of tap that in. You get so much product in this jar from Dermablend, it'll take me the rest of my life to finish it. It's so much product, but it's really good, and it's a good setting powder. It doesn't look heavy, cakey, powdery. It's just really nice. So I just take that and basically go over the areas that I added the concealer. I'm not trying to set the foundation with this. I will show you what I have been using. I normally don't use powder on my face, again, because I'm going back to being a little more on the drier side. But there is one powder that I feel like works even when my skin is dry, and that's the Kosas. This is the Cloud Set. I'm sure you've seen this. You may even have it or tried it already. I have in the shade called Airy. I also have Breezy, I think, but that one's a little too yellow, so I think I'm going to just stick with this one. I think this is a better match for me. And this powder is baked. It starts off as a cream and then baked onto a terracotta pan, which you can actually see the pan through the backside of the compact. This powder is like, no matter how hard you scrub your brush in or how much you try to pick up, it's almost impossible to really grab too much. Like, it's not one of those very heavy powders, so you could use this even if you are dry like me, and it kind of sets your makeup, but it doesn't take away the luminous and glowy radiant finish if that's what you have. It doesn't make the matte finish if that's what you're wearing even more matte looking and dry. I feel like it's such a really nice powder, and it's kind of like it sets, but then it doesn't disturb the finish of your foundation. Moving on to brows. I recently picked up the NYX Thick It Stick It. Such a funny name. I used this once before, yesterday, and I did this first, and then I did my pencil liner, and I feel like this has such a strong hold that this needs to be the final step. So I feel like if you're going to use this on its own, it's great. It does give you a natural look, keeps everything in place. It has, like I said, a really strong hold. But if you want more of a full brow or more structured brow, I would say go in with your pencils, your powders, pomades, whatever it is that you're going to use, and then use this over the top. So yesterday I did this first, and then my Anastasia pencil over the top. But I do want to try it with my Charlotte pencil. I have the shade Brunette in the Thick It Stick It from NYX, and I feel like that's a more warm. I should have just gone with a dark brown. I think they have a dark brown. But I want to try it over my brow lift from Charlotte. This one, again, I feel like it's a little bit more warm. I should have just gone with a dark brown, but I played it safe and I went with medium. It works. I've been using it. You've seen me wearing this in previous videos, so it's fine. But it is warm, so I kind of want to see how these two are going to play well together. So I'm going to start with doing the pencil first, because I feel like I learned my lesson yesterday. Alright, so now I have to do bronzer, and I'm trying to not gravitate towards my same combo, but I will show you what I have been using. My first step has been the Rare Beauty. This is the Bronzing Stick and Power Boost. I just adore this product. It's such a great formula, and I think I may have mentioned this before, and it's so good. I've been using this with my Glow Wish from Huda Beauty. The two of these together are really nice. I used this yesterday with Physicians Formula over the top, and I really do like it. And I feel like I always try to use this somehow in my bronzing routine, just because I love it so much. So I'm going to use it today. Go figure. So good. I use this every single day. I have tried other stick bronzers that tend to be a little bit more challenging to blend, and I don't know, I just feel like this is just so easy. Like, someone who's starting off with makeup for the first time could use this and not have issues with blending, with application, and that's huge. Let's move on to setting spray. I barely have anything left in this bottle. This is the Charlotte. And I'm going to do this before I go in with my blush and eyes. Let's do the Makeup by Mario. I don't know if I've showed this before on video in a tutorial. This is the Makeup by Mario blush stick. The Soft Pop Blush Stick in Pale Petal. Comes with a brush on one end. I honestly have not even used that brush, just because I really enjoy using my specific angled blush brush. But this is the shade Petal. Pale Petal. So it's like a really nice peachy pink color. The creamy peach in the powder form of the Makeup by Mario blushes are also nice. I do like the compacts. They're really nice, very, very pretty to look at and to have in my collection. I like to work this on the back of my hand just because I feel like this is going to be too much. And these are very, very pigmented. I go in with my angled brush, kind of work it, use my hand as a palette, and then I start applying the blush a little bit higher to create that lift. Keep it up higher. And then I will kind of blend towards the apples of my cheek. Once I get this sort of placed where I want it, again, like I said, I go a little bit higher through the temples, through up to the hairline, just kind of blending it in, over the nose with whatever's left. And then I start kind of gently tapping and doing like a circular motion to kind of pull it just a pinch more towards my cheek without being exactly on the cheek, because that creates a more like rounded apple, and this is more of like a lifted effect. And I feel like this is such a good formula because not only does it blend, no matter how much you blend, you're not losing the pigment of the color. It kind of melts into the skin, so it almost looks like it's coming out naturally. Okay, so now we have to do highlight. One of my favorite highlights, I absolutely love highlight. I just cannot see myself not doing it. I have different ones that are super glowy, super beaming, some that are just softer, just more like a soft radiance, and those are the LORAC ones that I have that are really great. And then I have this one from Milani. This is the Strobe Light, the Instant Glow Powder. I have a mini size. I hadn't used this in probably a few weeks since I'm, unboxing all of my stuff and moving in and putting all my stuff in the drawer. But when I busted this back out, I was just like, yes. Yes, yes, and yes. This is so good. Look at that. Yes. For eyes, the OG product that I was talking about was the Painterly Paint Pot by MAC. I recently picked this up. I've only used it once. I've only dipped my finger into the product one time, and that was yesterday. I used to use, many years ago when MAC was like all the rage, when the first YouTube beauty videos came, and it's certainly been a very long time since then. And I remember using soft ochre, but that was more yellow. Groundwork was a good one because that's more brown. Rubenesque was pretty as well, but that's kind of like a shimmery peachy pink. This one I think is great because it leans more towards like an actual skin tone. This one in soft ochre, but soft ochre looks a lot more yellow against my skin. So this one is very good as a base. So I kind of just take a little bit on my finger, and I already have primer on, but I kind of want to use this for nostalgia purposes. And I used it yesterday, and it did a very good job at keeping my colors from creasing on my lid, and also helping the colors look a little bit more vibrant, just because it does cover and conceal like veins. And then I went in straight in with my eyeshadow. So yesterday I used the NARS. This is the Summer Unrated palette, and I have not used NARS in years. I just think this palette is so good. So if you like warm tones, you will definitely enjoy this. So yesterday I did some kind of the lighter colors, and I think I might try to do the same today. Palette that came out, the Luxe Legacy, in collaboration with her mother. I'll hold it upside down to show you. I've been using quite a few of these shades, so I think I might just kind of pull from both of them. So Farm Girl is here, and then So Ucky is more cool tone, but mixing the two together to create kind of like a transition base. So I think I'm going to do that as well today. And I just use a big fluffy crease brush, and I just kind of layer and mix both of those together, and I feel like it's a great sort of transition for blending. I'm just blending that back and forth, and I feel like no matter how much of this I use, I can't mess it up. Like, it never looks patchy, weird. This is the first time I'm using these eyeshadows over the MAC paint pot, so I feel like, yep, it's looking good. It's looking smooth. That was a good splurge from MAC. I also picked up the Soft and Gentle Mineralized Skin Finish, which I probably should have just used that today because that's new. And I just go underneath. And then I take that same crease brush and I just kind of hold it up like this. Just very quickly trying to blend everything out, not being super careful or cautious. Half the time I'm doing this with two little girls here wanting to touch everything and play with my makeup, so I just do this as quickly as I can to get the job done. So I think I'm going to go on with this light shade, the first one, in the top row. And these are very pigmented. Used this yesterday and I was like, whoa, it's been a while. Taking some of that also down in my lower lash line. So the only thing that I noticed in the NARS palette is that there isn't like a light ivory shade that's matte for me to blend or clean around the edges or the brow bone. This one that looks really light is actually a shimmery gold, which I like because it's not like too yellowy of a gold and it's not too greenish. So it's a really pretty gold. So it may look light on camera, but it actually has shimmer and sheen to it. So I'm going to go back to my Jaclyn palette. I'm going to go in with Biscuit and Honey, which are the lightest two colors, and go around everything that I just did in my crease to make sure that it's not up too high. And then I also like to take Honey and Biscuit as well and go around the edges to kind of clean up if I came down too low, if I got any like fallout that's really close to the lash line, I can kind of clean that up as well. But these colors didn't really give me too much of an issue. For my lid, I think I'm going to go with French Silk, which I will show you from the Jaclyn palette. It's actually this one here. And it kind of looks like Stila Kitten eyeshadow. It's very metallic, but it's like a champagne pink shade. It's really, really pretty. You could also use this as a highlight. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to take that color in the inner corner and use that French Silk as my highlight. Take whatever's left and go underneath the brow bone. Then for a little bit more definition, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. This is a Morphe M506. So it's a really small crease brush that can give you very precise detail. And I'm going to use a little bit of a kind of darker brownish color to kind of deepen up my crease. So I'm going to take Bad Mousy from the Jaclyn palette, which is a really pretty, my camera will focus, like chocolate brown color. So it's this one here that I used yesterday, the Morphe one. And I'm going to start kind of like stamping it just to place the product. You can see it's pretty dark. And then I'm just going to kind of fade it because I want to keep that color right on this outer part. I don't want to bring this in too far to kind of close off the eye. But I also want to create a little bit more smokiness right out here. And I'm going to go back and add a little bit more to my crease, like a little bit more warmth. So it's going to help pull this together so it doesn't look like it's just dark and then light. And this brush is actually good for the lower lash line as well. It's quite small, which is nice for when you're getting into that outer V where you want to typically use something a lot darker than what's in your crease or your transition. This allows you to apply the product but also blend and keep it very precise because it is quite small. And I want to say this Morphe brush, the M506, was, I don't know, $5 or $6. Like it literally was super cheap, and I think they still make this brush. I'm not sure. I've had it for a couple years. Take that same brown, the same brush, and kind of come out here because I like to have like a connection between this lower color and my crease if possible. I feel like that really helps kind of bring the whole look together, and I don't always do that because I don't always use dark colors in my crease like I am today. I just wanted something a little bit deeper, a little smokier, but also lighter. I don't want it to be just super light, but I don't want it to be too dark and smoky. I want to still keep it kind of natural. So I'm gonna add some warmth to my crease. I'm gonna use the Luxe Petite Crease 231 from Zoeva to kind of pull in a little bit of warm tones. I definitely could do that with the NARS, but I also like the way this Rachy color looks, which is right here. This is the one that I have in my crease, and this one here is obviously much more of a warm, I would say more of like a terracotta kind of color. And so I'm going to use that brush and just pick up a little pinch of that. I used that color when I first got the palette, probably like 2 weeks at this point, and it's really nice, but it's warm. So I'm going to just kind of go more precise into my crease just to kind of place it. It may look a little harsh, but we're going to blend this in a moment. And I'm just using a little bit because it's very, very pigmented. And then I'm going to go back in with the same crease brush that I first started off with, and I'm going to just blend that out just a little bit. The Jaclyn one. Have I used this before in a tutorial? I think so. It's a nice color. It is the shade Smooth Black Brown. And I'm going to just kind of line my upper lash line with this. I'm going to use an angled brush to kind of soften that a little bit. And what I like to do on most days is use an eyeshadow for liner. So I'm going to take the dark color from the NARS palette. I think it's called Fetish. It's really, really nice. It is dark and potent, but it's a nice shade. I'm going to kind of go over that, and I'm also going to try to like smoke this out just a little bit. So I'm going to try to finish this up. I feel like it's there. It's almost time. Like, I would say by the end of this week, it's done. So I'm going to use that, and then we'll move on to lips. All right, so mascara is done. I do feel like that mascara is on its way out. It's a good one. It has like a comb on one end, and then just like a regular mascara one on the opposite end, which is kind of cool because it helps you kind of pull through and get a nice fanned out even look. But I do feel like it's time to kind of discard that because I'm starting to get little clumps. So I had to really work with that. So I had to just kind of like cut that part out. Yeah, lip liner from Huda Beauty. This is the Lip Contour in Muted Pink. And I don't know if I've shared this with you on camera. I talked about the Buxom ones. That one is my favorite, and I will show you what the packaging looks like on that. This one is Hush Hush Henna. I use this every single day. I'm going to give that a break, but it's a triangular kind of teardrop shape, so it really is great for lining. But this one from Huda Beauty is also very good, and I like the fact that it's automatic, so you don't have to sharpen it. And it's very creamy, very pigmented. I like to go very, very light. And I like to go around the edges and kind of feather and diffuse that. Then for lipstick, I'm going to use this one from Laura Geller in the shade called Berry Vanilla. And these are the marble, Italian marble lipsticks. They're kind of swirled. I was kind of unpacking all my things and organizing some things that I had underneath my sink. And this was one of those products that I hadn't even used. So the lipstick is swirled. Let me get it close so you guys can see. It's swirled and marbled to give you a different look than most lipsticks. I did swatch it and look how pretty. I rolled it all the way up so you guys can see how pretty that looks. Just so pretty. I swatched it for the first time on my hand, so it's like a really soft, kind of glossy pink color, which I think would be perfect. Oh yeah, this glides on very, very smoothly. Oh yeah, I'm digging it. And this lipstick is so good, soft, creamy, has a bit of like a glossy kind of sheen to it, and there's some bits in that marbling and the lipstick bullet itself that look a little bit shimmery, but when I look on my lips, it just almost looks kind of glossy, so I don't have to put a gloss over this, and it looks really nice, and it feels very comfortable. It feels very luxurious. If you have not tried that, I am impressed. Like, I feel like the next time I order from her, I think I'm gonna just sneak in another one of those marble lipsticks into my order because I like that. And this Berry Vanilla, and we are complete. This is my look for the day. I feel like I have that kind of smoky look going on, but it's wearable. It's not super dark. It's not over the top. This video is quite long because we're chatting and we're talking about new stuff, but I honestly, if I don't have the camera on and I have just a few minutes, I can get this done 15-20 minutes tops. So it's not a very fussy look, which is, it's the thing for me because I have 3 kids, pregnant with my 4th, and I don't have a lot of energy or time to really do very elaborate things. So I try to play with my makeup as often as I can. I've been doing my makeup almost every single day, which I'm happy about because I love doing my makeup, but I also don't have the luxury of sitting down and doing my makeup for an hour, hour and a half. So key products are super important. That's why what I show you on camera are just really, truly awesome things that really are amazing formulas, products, and make my routine so much easier. And I hope that you will enjoy that. Find some of these tips helpful. Try some of these out. Let me know your feedback in the comments. Share with me some of your favorites, your go-to products. I'm all ears. I would love to try some of your favorites, and I hope you like the way the look came out. Thank you so much for being here. Check out the list of products that's always in the description box. You can follow me on Instagram. We can be friends. We can chat and connect there. Take care, you guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.